Howdy, Possum Patty here, and this is the final episode of the Gingerbread House December Daily Journal. So come on along. I only have the finishing touch left to put into my gingerbread journal. I did a few pages off camera. I'm going to show those to you first, finish it up, and then at the end maybe go back and flip through the beginning of the book. So if you're new here and hadn't seen every single video that I made about every single page, stick around and I'll show you the rest of the journal. First thing I did was put that sweet little gingerbread boy peeking through the window of my gingerbread house. The Gingy stickers were gifted to me by Denny. And this is a Dollar Tree wooden gingerbread house that I decorated with snow and candy canes and peppermints. And I'm still waiting for some gumdrops. Maybe someday I'll find the gumdrops and put them on there. So the first page I did off camera was this one. And it is a picture of two gingerbread houses that my stepson and daughter-in-law made. Aren't they sweet? And there's some of those gingerbread stickers that were gifted to me by Denny. And this beautiful scrapbook paper is from the Michaels pack called Peace on Earth. I love the folk art in this pack. So you got your cup of cocoa and your gingerbread cookie there. And I just journaled how we had breakfast with the kids. I have two catastrophes. So catastrophe number 7. This is Oscar and Olive. And he's got his head right into that gift bag. And these are my stepdaughter and son-in-law's cats. And here he is with his elf on the shelf. And I added on this bling bling holly and these little gems from the Dollar Tree. And I put one up there to add a little bling bling to the page. And this comes in a set with also some sequins. For $1 you get 2 different kinds of sequins and the holly with the bling bling. So one of the leaves fell out. Let me stick that back in there before I lose it. Okie dokie. And catastrophe number 8. To me, it does not feel like Christmas Eve unless I am wrapping up presents. So here are my 2 kitties helping me with the wrapping paper. I have this sticker, do not open until the 25th of December. I thought that was appropriate. Let me just show you a quick clip of me down on the floor. Now at this age, it is still easy to get down on the floor, but a whole lot harder getting up. Whoops. And here we have Merry Christmas. We went to see Mom, who's 92. And this is me and my littlest sister and Mom. And this is my son and my little sister's son with their grandma. And we had a nice lunch there. And that's what we did on Christmas Day. So what I want to do, right now is make a card for this back pocket. I had made this from a gift bag. Now, my son and daughter-in-law gave me this, oops, bumping everything here, beautiful scarf with the kitties on it. Isn't that adorable? So what I did is I took the scarf, and all I did was, I know I keep hitting that camera today, don't know why, placed it over a sheet of cardstock, laid it down on the printer, and printed it out. And so now I have pale pink with little black kitties. I don't know if that pink's going to come across, but it's a pale pink just like the scarf. And I was thinking of making my journaling card from this, and then, oh, you know what, I have to go get the Silent Night paper pack. So yes, I got the Silent Night paper pack from Michaels in their after Christmas sale. And there's a lot of beautiful pale pink in here. Love this with the bottle brush trees. So I was thinking, oh, and I have an idea for this page coming up. And I want to pick one of these to do the back side of my journaling card. This is really pretty. Pink flowers. You know me and my flowers. Okay, so this is going to be one side, and this is going to be the other side. Maybe, maybe. Stand by. Man, I just changed my mind in a flash. And I went from Silent Night to this card that Dolores had sent me. Whoops. Hope, Peace, Joy. And I'm going to just glue the print of the kitty on the back. And I know I made it a little too short because I cut off some of the white stuff, but that's okay. I will trim it in a couple of minutes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this like a tag and put a hole and put a banner on there. Now Dolores' favorite word is joy. Oh, this has string. I could tie that on. And these are gift tags from the Dollar Tree. They're really pretty. You got 18 of them for $1. You have Mary, Joy, Peace, and Hope. And I might put that on there, or I might put it on this side. We shall see, we shall see. Okay, now I'm going to trim this off because I don't measure correctly. And I want to trim a corner. And I'm just going to slice it and then, let's see, where's the middle? Okay, this is about 4 inches. The middle is about 2. That's where I'm going to put the hole. So, let's see. I just want it to look a little tag-like. And it's a little wet still. And then you just take this and flip it over. And that's where I'm going to cut it on this side. Slice and dice. Doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, that's pretty. Polka dots. Oh, I like it. I like it. So let's be trimmed a little bit though. You know what? Maybe I will not add another word to it. Maybe it has enough words on it. maybe I will put some fancy yarns on there. All right, I'm going to go look for some yarn. Okay, I decided on this white chenille and this green eyelash, and just put some fluff. Chenille is very soft. So there's my tag made from a Christmas card from Dolores. And the back of the tag is the print of the scarf that I got from my son, and I'm going to journal that. But first, I got this handbag from Mr. Possum. Is this not gorgeous or what? Oops, my journal's in the way. Oop, get it under here. Okay. Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous owl with the leaves. This is all leather in different colors. I love it. I love it. So I took a picture. Whoops. Took a picture with my phone and printed it out with my Canon Ivy printer. Look at those colors. It's gorgeous. I don't know if this is going to come across, but this is like a beautiful sort of lime green and turquoise. Anyway, so I'm going to put this on here and do my journaling. Maybe I need a little bit of a background for this. Okay, now I'm going into the Silent Night pack. This beautiful blush pink with the little bottle brush trees and ornaments. I took a little piece of that, and I am going to, can't call this distress, but emphasize the edges with some pink. I did round the corners off. And you know what? I think I'm going to do the tag too. Maybe not that side, maybe just this side. Let's go round and round. Why do we do this? We don't know. Probably should have done this before I put in the yarn though. Alright, good enough, good enough, good enough, good enough. Close that up. This is Stays On Fuchsia Pink. Okay, so this is going to go on here. And where these ornaments are, I'm going to put the pocketbook and then do a little tiny bit of journaling. Christmas 2021 Pink Kitty Scarf from Jessie and Aerie, and Owl Handbag from Santa. And I just went into my Halloween stash. That's what I dropped on the floor before. And this was gifted to me by Angie. And I got out these black cats because this scarf reminded me of these Halloween black cats. And I found one sparkly one. And maybe I will just add one kitty to here. One sparkly black cat. They're all facing the same way. One sparkly black cat. Maybe there. Maybe right there. And then I have one more thing to do. Okay, when he's dry, I'm going to stick that in the pocket at the back. Right there. And the only thing I have left to do, oops, the points of the gingerbread house keep hitting the legs of the camera, is to find something to put here. All right, let me look around. Okay, I think I'm going to do something different than what's there. I know I put these peppermint candies there because I wanted this peppermint look. I got peppermint there. But this Peace on Earth pack, I really like this 12 by 12, and I don't journal this big. It's got gold foil on it. Isn't that pretty? Love the folk art. So this is the pattern for the inside of the journal cover. And I was thinking of just cutting this out. Or I should come down here where it says Happy Holidays, maybe. Maybe. So I just traced this on the back of this sheet. And I'm going to cut it out and use this as the inside cover. Because I changed my mind. Like I always do, I guess. Well, kind of sad to be done with Christmas. I love the Christmas season. I have not put my tree away yet. But Mr. Possum took down the lights that are outside around the porch. So I guess we'll be doing the tree pretty soon. I tell them we always have to leave it up to the Feast of the Epiphany, or Three Kings Day, which is, I believe, today. You're retired, you lose track of the time. All right, where's my journal? So maybe this is an appropriate day to finish this up. Happy Holidays. And I'm just going to make this the inside cover. What do you think? What do you think? Oh, I am banging everything today. Hate to cover up my peppermints, but peppermints worked at the time, but they're not working right now. I wonder if I should do that or do this. Mamma mia. Alright, I'm going to put the glue on here. Okay, so now just a quick look back. If you want more detail on each page, just go to the Gingerbread House December Daily Journal playlist. And there is a video on every page. So I love this now. I love this folk art. Happy Holidays. Partridge in a Pear Tree. So the 1st of December was the first day of meteorological winter, or the coldest 3 months of the year here in New England. And yesterday I got a swap and glue card stickers from Wanda. Put a little gnome there, got a little netting, got my peppermints. And this is the card that Wanda sent me, beautiful bluebird from the Ortiz family. And then I took the envelope and used that for December 1st also. which was the day I got my booster. And then I made, out of the envelope, I made this pocket. There's a tuck up here, and it has my booster information. And I got this off another card. Beautiful church with this gray snowy background. "O come all ye faithful" was part of the card, and this is washi tape, just says Merry Christmas. So her card and her envelope went to good use in my journal. Now the back of the envelope, I made 2 tuck spots, and this was some die cuts and some, I think this was the magazine page. Love little villages under the tree. When I was a kid, this was my favorite thing, to see the little lit villages under the Christmas tree. And I started journaling about some of my ornaments. This was an ornament I made, probably late 60s, I would say. It's like a styrofoam ball, and you stick all those pins and sequins in it. And I made a few of them, and I still have them hanging on my Christmas tree. December 2nd was trimming the tree. That's what I did that day. Just kind of a collage here of different scrapbook papers and a little sparkle netting. Number 2. And on this side I have this really pretty, this is an old Christmas card with a kitty, and a journaling card with my kitty playing in the tissue paper that I used to wrap my Christmas tree ornaments in. So I did the 12 catastrophes of Christmas, only I wound up, I think, with 8 of them in here. Oh, that's funny. You know what I could do? I could cross this off and put 8. And I think I will do that, because I think that's funny. I did not fit 12 in here. I did fit 8. So I have the 8 catastrophes of Christmas, and just photos that the fam had sent me about their cats or their pets. My little cartoon down here, why Santa has reindeer instead of cats. Okay, now I have to wait for a second for that to dry before I close the page. Put the little ball trim from the Dollar Tree on the edge there. Scrapbooking page. I had this gem pickup truck from Hobby Lobby. And this is a remembrance card for my grandfather, which is hard to see in the picture. I know it's not a good picture, but gave him a little truck with things in the back, because I believe they had a farm in Hamilton, New Jersey back in the day. So December 2nd was trim the tree, and December 3rd was trim the hair. And I had Mr. Possum give me a little bit of a hair trim, and I put a little piece in a glassine bag of my hair. You got to put your DNA into your books, and put it on this little flip. A little truck trim from the Hobby Lobby, another truck from Scrapbooking. Oops. See, these pointy things keep hitting the camera legs. Little gnome over there celebrating the 4th, another ornament. This was probably from the 1970s. Made a little pocket here, just out of scrapbooking paper. This is a card I had gotten, Celebrate Like a Cat. This is catastrophe number 2. Celebrate like a cat. Lay in the sun, sleep, throw up in a corner. And that's my son and one of his kitties. December 4th was the new moon, and this is an old picture of the New Haven Green from 1982. Put a little bow up there. I used a sticker to keep this closed. I love this sparkly ribbon. And here's another cat card. Got another little gnome down here. This is number 3. And this is my sister's cat, Zeus. attacking her gingerbread house, and that's her gingerbread house. December 9th, woke up to 1 inch of snow. It was very soft, fluffy white, and sparkly. Let it snow, and I added this snow here on the page. The 5th is just a remembrance, Mr. Possum, an old picture with a bunch of presents. December 5th was lots of Christmas shopping. And I colored in that little red bag there. Make it sparkly, put a little sparkle on the tree, have a festive ribbon. And because we were Christmas shopping, that's why I put this picture of all the presents. And the next day is just remembrance of my son. This was taken when my grandma passed in Doniphan, Missouri, in her house. December 6th. And this is the sunset and the lights that were on the front porch. And open this up. It's got stitching around the edge. And it's a remembrance of my son's first Christmas ornament. See, with the blankie and the mop hair. And there he is with his blankie and his mop hair. And on the 6th, I have some fam celebrating Hanukkah. And on the 7th, we remember my uncle, who was in the Navy, retired from the Navy. He was offshore of the Pearl Harbor when they were attacked. Not in the harbor, he was patrolling outside the harbor. He was there. And this is remembering going to my keyboard lesson. So I used some musical background. And there's the Yamaha Clavinova Mr. Possum bought me for Christmas last year. And on the 4th is another catastrophe. This is a sister's cat in the bag there with the bow. Fun sticker there from the Dollar Tree. Some more of this pom-pom trim. And on this day I'm remembering the, my sister. My sister Dee, this is her cat. She went down to Florida to visit her friend and sent me a picture. A beautiful sunrise, I believe it was, with the palm trees silhouetted. And I just made this little saying, joy to the world, me in the snow. Joy to the world wherever in the world you may be. And this is me in the snow. And my sister down here with the palm trees. Because while she was gone, it snowed. On the 11th day, this is a card from my friend in Pennsylvania, and I put a memory card, a memory photo there of me in a sleigh rally. And on the 12th, I took a gift bag and made this double pocket. And this is catastrophe number 5. Is that right? Make sure number 4, number 5. And Stinky is the nice kitty, Santa's little helper. And Titi is the naughty kitty. There she is climbing the Christmas tree. And these pictures are really old. They can't fit into that sweater anymore. She must have been just a kitten when I put that on her. And on the 13th, I saw an 8-point buck in the backyard, was on the side yard really, and my sister was on TV working at her store because they had a new mask mandate in that town. Love the little lace trim. Beautiful little card that was gifted to me, and this page is all about the angels, and that's my angel topper. And inside is the story of my mom's angel topper. And there we are, way back when, 1974 probably, with that angel topper right there. And the 14th, back for my keyboard lesson, and he had this gnome sitting on the keyboard with the musical gnome hat on. So, and I did make a gingerbread cookie Christmas tree to put in my journal. These are the wood die cuts from the Dollar Tree. And I did a teddy bear in a granny gown, nightgown. That was from a book. It says, Mama reads "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" to Frederick and Irene on Christmas Eve. And those are two little bears down here. And in the pocket is a picture of me and my teddy bear in my granny gown. Two teddy bears, really. I should call them Frederick and Irene, right? 16th, sister luncheon for Christmas. It was 60 degrees that day. We took Mama out for a walk. Of course, she's dressed like the middle of winter because you know how it is when you're 92. And on the 16th, I took a picture of Mr. Possum's DIY Christmas tree that I decorated. He made the tree. I just decorated it. On the 17th, got this lovely gnome card from a good friend, subby of mine. Put that right there in the journal. Catastrophe number 6. My niece with her 2 iguanas. On the 18th is just a memory page for fun. My son in middle school sitting on Santa's lap. The 18th was the cold full moon. The 19th, a friend in Pennsylvania sent me some children's art. I love kids' art. And a card, the dragonfly, and I made this out of a card. And did some nature journaling this day about how the plant was confused. It got some buds on it because it was 60 degrees the other day. And on the 19th, I made this fun pocket from a card with the birds on it. And I played with my new die cuts, Tim Holtz, Birds and Hats. And I wrote the poem I Heard a Bird Sing by Oliver Herford. I go into more detail if you watch each video. 20 was just a memory of my son when he was little with Santa, and I left this because I love that picture. And I have a Christmas card from my sister with memories of her grandkids making memories. They went on the Polar Express, took the kids, and there's her cat. That's my cat's father. And inside is me and Mr. Possum and some poinsettias. And I wrote a poem this day. Making memories that will last with the young'uns that grow too fast and the old'uns that too soon will pass. And then the next day I made this really fun shaker card. My son in the snow many, many, many years ago. On the side, just some snowflakes and some gold sequins. And this was the winter solstice. Did some fun lettering on this page. I thought this picture was appropriate for the winter solstice. I did an altered paper clip. This is a hidden paper clip, so it has a picture on both sides and the paper clips in the middle. Like that. 21 is another poem. This one's from Dr. Seuss. And my sister gave me some candy cane marshmallow peeps. I put a little picture of my son and our puppy from many years ago in the little window from the peep package. And this is an old Christmas card from my son. It says, Merry Christmas. Hard to get under the camera. And on this side, I did some journaling about my decorations, my shelf with all the snowmen and the gnomes. and my new solar dancer, which is the leg lamp from the Christmas Story movie. This day I had fun coloring in mushrooms and little gnomes. Whoops. And I did a recipe for dried orange slices on this day. And then we're back to my cup of cocoa. This was a boho page. My son, when he was 6 months old, playing with a little boho ornament. I got glue on my finger. And I still have that ornament hanging on my tree today. And then here's the 2 pages I just did. And the last page and my journaling card. So my December daily journal is complete. Unless I come back and add something, right? So I just want to thank everyone who came along for this journaling journey. Much appreciated. And now let's get on to the January junk journaling. Bye-bye now.